Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Game Pass. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this Game Pass game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Embark on a Viking adventure in the head of Senua, a warrior with psychosis. Is this analysis of Norse mythology and mental health worth embarking on? Let's find out. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice is an Xbox and PC cross-release, but it does not feature cross-save. It is, however, recently updated for Series S and X, which is 60 FPS and 4K, and the game is about 7 to 8 hours long. So what exactly is Hellblade? Well, it is a third-person action puzzle exploration game with horror elements. You play as Senua, a warrior who hears constant stream of voices in her head and suffers from psychosis, which affects what she sees and does. She is journeying to Hell to attempt to bring her deceased lover back to life. Along the way, Senua will face many trials, both external and internal, as she struggles to understand both her mental state as well as the grief and trauma losing her boyfriend caused. The game usually involves either visual puzzles such as finding specific runes in the environment to progress, or using portals to change how Senua views reality. The game also has a good amount of third-person combat, which mainly consists of dodging, heavy, light attacks, guard breaks, and parries. It's worth pointing out that the nature of Senua's mental illness is conveyed in a way that is meant to both feel oppressive and overwhelming, as it also impacts Senua, which may leave many players stressed and overwhelmed. So this is a bit of a warning if you are sensitive to that kind of thing. So what do I like about this game? Well, first off, this game looks incredible. The graphics are just fantastic, and Senua is clearly based off of a real actress who is acting and emoting as her. That's kind of what Ninja Theory is famous for, is their mocap, and it just looks incredible. The actress is phenomenal, the voice acting is phenomenal. You can really get the emotion from her face as a combination of the graphics and the acting itself. Just really phenomenal all around. The audio design is exemplary throughout, particularly the voices. This is a game that would have lived or died based on how the psychosis mechanic played out in the game, and it is done fantastically, and it really evokes a sense of stress that you don't get in another type of game like this. That's kind of my third plus, is the story is very thoughtful and very careful around mental health, but it's also incredibly stressful, which makes you doubt reality, just as Senua does in what is actually happening versus what is just in her head. When it comes to the bad, I found that the combat was very basic and feels more like filler a lot of the time. There is a little bit of nuance to it, learning the parries, learning when to dodge, but generally speaking, it's not particularly difficult once you kind of figure out its rhythm. The rune finding puzzles also wear out their welcome in the latter half of the game. There's just too many of them. It really needed to introduce something new. I feel like it's puzzle solving bits, the best bits happen in kind of the first half of the game, and then it kind of loses it. And lastly, as I mentioned in my summary, this might be a little too much for some people to handle, particularly those with a history of mental illness. I found myself relating to Senua a lot with the things I struggle with, which for me was positive and kind of affirming, but I could completely understand if you went into this game and you found it to be just too much. And lastly, this isn't on the screen, but I think the title's stupid. I don't know why it's called Hellblade. It should have just been called Senua's Sacrifice, and it would have been a better title. So, as you know, I rate games on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, don't bother. I think this is absolutely a must play. This game does so much in its short runtime. It's incredibly atmospheric, stressful, and yet surprisingly hopeful. Senua's quest will rope you in and get its claws in you as you try to understand her and her experience. It's excellently told, looks incredible, and is something you absolutely should not miss. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and go out there and enjoy the hell out of Hellblade.